Hey everyone, it's Rena Olsen with Ubora TZ, and I am super excited to share this video with you. We have a team on the ground in Karansi, Tanzania, and George Peake, who is a first-time missionary to Tanzania, is here with us today to just share some insight about what he's experiencing with his first few days in Tanzania. It's an unbelievable conversation and a glimpse of what it's like to be there in person in Karansi with our brothers and sisters in Christ. Enjoy this conversation. Hey, George.
Hey, Rena, how are you?
I'm so good. Just give us a little bit of introduction about who you are and how you ended up in Tanzania.
Okay, well, I am Lee Williams, and I are co-father-in-laws. Lee is the father of my son's wife, so we share grandchildren together and have had a great relationship with Lee through the years because of that. And about a year ago, Lee asked me if I might be interested in learning more about the ministry in Tanzania. He knew that I was a farmer, and he said that the ministry wanted to be reaching out to farmers in the local community to see if there were ways we could minister to them, to help them. And he said, I don't know anything about farming, and nobody else in North Atlanta knows anything about farming. Would you be willing to come and to help us? And or at least join in conversation. So I started that about a year ago, got involved in the weekly or bi-weekly Zoom meetings with the folks over here, and began to catch a little bit of the vision of what was going on over here and the needs that maybe I could help with as a farmer. So I am a farmer in South Georgia, and I've come, and we got here on late Friday night of this weekend, and of course the first thing you experience is the sights and the smells of this part of the world. And it's then yesterday we went out and began to visit some of our sponsor children and looked at some of the different farms. This was all preliminary on the farm and stuff. Tomorrow I get to work really on meeting with different farmers individually on their farms and trying to discern and see what their needs are and how we might be a part of helping them to be more successful as farmers.
Wow.
So that's the quick and skinny of why I'm here.
So tell us a little bit about where you're staying right now and kind of what your day was like. It's Sunday in Karansi, Tanzania.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your day today.
We have had two very, very full days. Of course, we got in late Friday night this time. And, it was basically 20 hours of flying and losing 8 hours, in time zones coming over here. So a little bit disorienting from that standpoint, but we hit the ground pretty hard Saturday morning. And the three guys, Lee and Dave and I, all met with Saturday morning. We met with a group of they're called Babas and Babus. Okay, and those are fathers and grandfathers. And we had an amazing time with these guys. This is a group of men, imagine there were maybe 35 or 40 men there. My age, late 50s, 60s, 70-year-old men. And we shared a little bit about who we were and what we wanted the meeting to be about. And then we asked them to share some things with us. What are their challenges in being fathers and grandfathers? We had some sweet and honest conversations, not just about being fathers and grandfathers, but about being men and disciples of Jesus. I mean, it was some pretty heavy stuff and some real honest conversations, and helped us to realize how much these men have come from a culture that was not a Christian culture. Okay. I know the United States is, you wouldn't call it a Christian nation as much anymore, but we do come from some fundamentally strong Christian background in our country in the United States. These folks do not. And they come from a culture where, women have very little value, very, very little worth. They're more concerned about what city are they going to have the next war with, and who's going to take whose children. And so they've come out of that. They've lived through that, and their lives are being changed by Christ. But it's still new. It's new stuff. So yeah, it's just a really, really dramatic time with the babas and babus.
That's so interesting. So how did you overcome the language barrier?
We had a translator. Great question. We had a translator and we had to learn to slow down. That's not hard for me when I'm talking, because I talk kind of slow anyway.
South Georgia.
My Southern talking. Yeah, South Georgia. But we had a really good translator, and he's a dear man, and he understands. He knows the Lord, and he understands what we're trying to do there. He did a really great job of translating for us.
Well, that is so cool that y'all had the chance to do that. And I understand you have a new sponsored child, and you had a chance to meet that precious one. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was pretty heart-wrenching. I mean, I knew the story. I had read the story about the mother, and she was an abandoned mother, and she had 3 children. This is her middle child. And we went and met with her. She was really shy and unsure when we first came. There were 3 of us: Cindy, Dave, myself, and then a translator who was there. Okay, so you can imagine these 3 white strangers coming into your home, and her home, I say home with parentheses, it was a room. Okay, that was her home. It was a room. That's all it was. One room. I'm in the hotel room right here. This is not mine. Mine was too dirty, so I got another hotel room just to show you. This is a really nice hotel room. Her room, that was her house, was about a third of the size of this hotel room, and she lived there with her 3 children, subsistence, working, picking up sticks and selling sticks for fires, and maybe doing some cooking for somebody. But I mean, very, very poor. But she kind of warmed up to us as the translator helped us to communicate. Well, she warmed up a lot to us, and as she understood that we were giving one of her children an opportunity to get an education, and not just an education, but a Christian education, and an opportunity to come out of poverty and to lead his family out of poverty. He's 3 years old. Okay, so he's right at the beginning. He'll be starting school in the next session, and as she realized that, and let me say this real quick too. This is interesting. I was wondering, why don't you get all the children in one family into the school? And Dave Burgess was explaining to me. He said, we're trying to spread this over as many families as possible. And we're hoping that one child in that family, we can expose one child to a family in need. This changes and introduces a change to the whole family. Right. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But as she began to understand our desire, we didn't want anything from her.
Right.
We just wanted to love her and love her child, all of her children, her family. And we were making a commitment, and I was making a commitment for the next however many years till this young man finishes his schooling. she began to get very emotional, and she just put her head on my shoulder and just was crying, and I started crying, and she understood we were coming with love, and the love of Jesus. It was a really tough, and that was visiting my new sponsor child. Then we went to go see several other of the members sponsor children and had similar experiences like that. Just really precious impact that the sponsors all across are having in this community.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's so
pretty
amazing.
great time. Yeah.
Well, I haven't had a chance to go yet, but I understand the Tanzanian people are just so warm and so gracious, and really so incredible. And what a privilege and gift for you to be there.
Yes, it is. My first time in Africa. My first time ever stepping foot in Africa. So, yeah.
So tell me about Stella, the cook at Amani House. She taking good care of you?
She's a pretty good cook. Yeah, she. At least we're eating good. I'll tell you that for sure. We're eating good, and the beds they're simple and no air conditioning, but the climate is really it's warm during the day. I won't say it's hot. Mm-hmm. It's mid 80s, upper 80s during the day. Nighttime is mid 60s, and so it's quite pleasant. Yeah.
Well, that's just so great. Well, I appreciate you. I know you've had a long, busy day. Did you get to have church at Pastor Wariali's church today?
Yeah, we had a sweet
time. Tell me a little bit about. Let's close with that, because that had to be amazing.
I took some video of it.
Okay, good.
These people, I mean, they love singing and worshiping and dancing and singing on and on and on, and it was wonderful. I'll send you that. I'll send you that video. But okay. that was a sweet time. You could, of course, they're singing in Swahili, and I don't know Swahili. I'm sorry, not hardly at all. But you're able to catch a few words because they were repetitive in what they were singing. And so we could join in, we could get the tune, and we'd get a few of these words, and we're just singing in and, raising our hands and shouting to the Lord. And it was, it was definitely sing to the Lord a new song. These were new songs. And, but they were excited for us to be there. They gave us the opportunity to introduce ourselves. Mm-hmm. And again, we had a translator, Lee Williams, gave a great, just a little short, very scriptural message, and Dave Burgess also had the opportunity to share some verses, and it was just real well received. And here's the big impact that I've felt so far. These are people Jesus died for. Okay, they are his beloved, just like we are. Yeah. And they are our brothers and sisters in Christ. And we have an opportunity to communicate that from those of us who have been given a lot in terms of the world's goods in this life, a lot. And these folks have not. And we have an opportunity to come to them, not that we're just always giving stuff to them. Okay, that's not what we're giving them. Yeah, we're giving them love, and we are communicating that they are our brothers and sisters. They're joint heirs with Christ, with us, and it means a lot to them, and it means a lot to us to have that with them. So it's a neat time.
Yeah, and I love the whole spirit of Ubora in that it's all about helping them fulfill their dreams for the future.
Yep.
We're just lending a helping hand, and as a farmer, a successful farmer with a whole lot of experience, you're learning from them first.
I am. Right? I told some of the farmers, well, yesterday and this morning, I said, I hope to come and give you a gift of knowledge that might benefit you. But I also hope to come and to receive a gift of knowledge from you that will help me. That's what we do as brothers in Christ. We give to, and serve one another. And they were super in agreement and very much appreciative of that attitude. And so anyway, I start with the farmers tomorrow. I start this.
Well, I can't wait for a midweek update. Keep getting lots of videos and photos and capturing those stories. It sounds like you guys are just having an amazing and very impactful time in Karansi, Tanzania. And thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Bye-bye.